against, and that's what he'll be concentrating on.
Big game for Liverpool in Rome against Roma.
Yeah, well, they did it last year. They won in Rome, and they've got to emulate the same performance. And they'll do exactly the same way. They'll play very dogged. They'll defend with numbers and hope to hit them on the break with the pace of Owen and Esky.
You confident?
I think they can do it again. Yeah, I do.
Terry, thanks very much, as always, for being with us. Well, you know, they say it's very good to travel, but for Arsenal, with 4 Champions League wins out of 4, there's certainly no place like home. Bye for now.
This programme was sponsored by Ford and MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsors.
Robert Black is a paedophile who murdered 3 young girls. It took the police 8 years to catch him.
An enormous task.
A new programme recounts the investigation with personal insights from those involved.
Perhaps if some of the police officers had been a little more probing, Black's identity might have been revealed much earlier.
Manhunt, Catching a Child Killer, next Tuesday, 10:20, ITV1.
It's a girl, Mrs. Thompson.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
How refreshing. How Heineken.
Now you can own the DVD experience of the year. Pearl Harbor. Own it on DVD and video now.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, not again.
You're not giving them those.
They're my friends.
They're my chocolates.
About
this. Care.
So Samson's coming.
No! Don't be so nice. That's a green bag. I'm not giving away. Cut them.
Give Ferrero Rocher.
Express yourself. Express yourself. Whatever you do, Lord, Lord. Do it good. Spread yourself, spread yourself, spread.
Get a free mini dish and digibox, plus subscribe to Sky World and get half price standard installation. Call Sky now on 08702 40 40 80.
Now you can decide who to open your phone to. Introducing the Samsung A300 with dual screen technology. Everyone's invited.
Samsung. Catch the late edition of Night and Day Thursday at 10:20, but now a little later than advertised, Tuesday's news from Calendar.
Hello and welcome to the late news from Calendar. First, tonight's top national story. Roy Whiting, the man accused of murdering Sarah Payne, today told the jury that he had suffered a memory blank on the day she went missing. Asked why he hadn't given police more information when he was questioned immediately after Sarah disappeared, he said he had a lot on his mind. He was also asked why he'd cleared out his van the day afterwards. He said it was dirty. The case continues. The jury in the Selby train crash trial were taken to the scene of the accident today, together with the man accused of causing the deaths of 10 people in February. Gary Hart denies causing the deaths by driving dangerously on the M62. John Hill reports.
For 4 days, the jury have listened intensely to evidence and been shown maps, charts and sketches of the place where the tragedy happened. Today, the jurors and the rest of the court visited the motorway bridge near Great Heck so they could see at first hand where the disaster took place. They spent 35 minutes examining the embankment where Gary Hart's Land Rover careered onto the East Coast main line. 2 lanes of the M62 were cordoned off and special tapes were laid out on the ground to show where the accident occurred. 37-year-old Hart from Strubby in Lincolnshire looked on with his legal team as the jury scrutinised the scene. Later in court, the jurors heard a second taped interview in which Hart told police he'd had just 3/4 of an hour's sleep in the day leading up to the crash. The court heard he'd spent 5 hours that night talking on the phone to Christine Panter from Scunthorpe. She'd replied to a lonely Hearts ad he'd placed on the internet. The prosecution allege Hart caused the crash by falling asleep at the wheel. He denies all 10 charges. The trial continues.
Detectives hunting the body in the Suitcase killer have issued an e-fit image of a man they want to question. The man was seen parked on a country lane near York, close to where a mystery woman's body was found dumped in a suitcase. Calendar's Tim Iredale reports.
Detectives hope this man could shed some light on an increasingly bizarre investigation. He was seen by a motorist standing a few yards away from his car, near to the exact spot on this country lane where a woman's body was discovered in a suitcase. That was in the early hours of Friday the 2nd of November, the day the suitcase was first seen, dumped in a hedgerow near the village of Askham Richard on the outskirts of York.
I'm appealing to anyone who may have information about the identity of this individual or that man himself. As I say, if he recognises himself, I would ask him to come forward so we can eliminate him from our inquiries.
The police have already established the case was bought in Korea. The victim, thought to be of Asian or Oriental origin, was discovered partially clothed and had been bound and gagged with this unusual tape. It was designed by offbeat artists Gilbert and George and sold exclusively at the Tate galleries.
The other lines of inquiry are progressing and will take some time. However, I'm a little bit disappointed with the tape, the Gilbert and George tape. We know that 1,400 rolls were sold, and we only to date have the details of only a handful of people that have actually purchased that tape. Certainly I would ask people to revisit the tape if they themselves have bought that tape or know of anyone who has bought that tape to contact us.
Although progress has been slow, detectives say they're determined to get to the bottom of this mystery. Someone, somewhere, knows this woman and how she died.
A cab driver who carried out a sex attack on a passenger may have struck elsewhere. The latest attack took place at Eckington in Derbyshire. The victim had been picked up after a night out in Sheffield. Police have now contacted fellow officers in West Yorkshire. They fear there could be links with similar attacks in Leeds. A man's been charged with murder tonight following a fatal stabbing during a gang fight in Keighley in West Yorkshire at the weekend. 21-year-old Zabir Hussain of Belgrave Road at Highfield in Keighley died from a single stab wound. A 20-year-old local man will appear before magistrates tomorrow, charged with his murder. The Humber pilots have this evening announced that they will go on strike in their long-running dispute with Associated British Ports. Yesterday, the High Court overturned a previous court ban on industrial action. The self-employed pilots are fighting plans by ABP to recruit them directly from January or replace them. Representatives from both sides are holding informal talks tomorrow. If they fail, the pilots will go on strike next Thursday. Well, football now, and Huddersfield Town are into the northern semi-finals of the LDV Vans Trophy after beating Scunthorpe tonight by 4-1. Danny Schofield put the Terriers ahead on 23 minutes, but Scunthorpe equalised midway through the second half through Steve Torpey. Their joy was short-lived though. Schofield struck again 2 minutes later. Chris Hay gave the home team a 2-goal cushion, and Andy Booth finished off the iron with a trademark headed goal. And the results from the Northern quarter-finals involving our teams. Chesterfield were beaten 3-0 at home by Blackpool, confirmation of that Huddersfield result, and a good night for Hull. They beat Port Vale by 2-1. Well, that's all from me for now. We'll be back with the next bulletin during GMTV tomorrow morning. For now, from everyone here on the Late Team, have a very good night. Bye-bye.
YTV Weather, sponsored by Yorkshire Electricity.
Hello again. Well, we're seeing lots of rain moving in across our region throughout the course of tonight. It started fairly dry and cold, but we're seeing the temperatures lifting now. And as the rain sweeps up across our region, temperatures are going to lift. We are expecting snow and sleet on higher ground, so do be careful if you're out and about first thing tomorrow. Treacherous driving conditions. So by the end of the night, temperatures probably won't dip any lower than around 6 degrees Celsius. Those winds really picking up towards tomorrow morning. The sun sets tomorrow at 3:47. Tomorrow then starting very wet, very wild. If you're out and about, do be careful. Very strong winds. But as the low moves out in towards the North Sea, it will take with it most of the showers. They will cling to the east coast for a while. But inland, it is going to brighten up. Unfortunately, that brighter, clearer weather is going to introduce colder temperatures. They probably won't exceed 8 degrees Celsius tomorrow, and the winds are really very strong. Sleep well. Here's a summary.
For a 5-day outlook, call our weather line on 09068 55 9988.
Police are still appealing for information into an armed robbery that took place in the early hours of the morning at a bar in Hull. 2 men allegedly armed with handguns burst into the pub after a busy bank holiday weekend and left with a substantial amount of cash. Information about this incident could lead to a cash reward. Call Crimestoppers free on 0800 555 111.
It's amazingly clear. It's dynamic and multifunctional. It's the high-definition flat-screen TV from Samsung. It's a world of clarity, and everyone's invited.
Young Lust, the very best of Aerosmith. 32 of their greatest hits on one double album. Young Lust, the very best of Aerosmith. Out now.
Stereophonics. Just enough education to perform. Special edition now includes the new single Handbags and Glad Rags. Handbags and the glad rags that you pour over Stereophonics. Just enough education to perform. Get yourself educated.
Buy The League of Gentlemen Series 2 on video or DVD this Christmas.
Tell them the circus is coming to town.
At your local Virgin Megastore.
What do you want?
Jump leads for 2. That's what I want.
We watch a video before we go to bed, eh?
But mainly, loads and loads of clings.
How many?
20!
The League of Gentlemen Series 2 is out now on video and DVD. Virgin Megastores. Whatever turns you on.
Tom is first on the scene after a brutal attack on Leanne. Peak practice Thursday at 8:30. But now eyes in the sky are in hot pursuit of the violence on the streets of Los Angeles.
FB46, can I have a RA to our location, Southeast Station, for a male, approximately 30 years old, conscious and breathing, possibly under the influence of PCP.
71, 6871, call 30 ringer, 7808 Waring Avenue at a residence. 2201, RD672.
FB46 verified, it's going to be the jail.
That's correct, ma'am.
Mary 31, code 6, Speedway and Sword, on a bicycle requesting unit for transportation.
33, if you want to meet us, yes.
Los Angeles, California, known the world over as the playground of the rich and famous. Each year, more than 1 billion people across the globe tune into the Academy Awards to see the beautiful people. American royalty, stars. The people on your television. And there's a new star in town, a new celebrity appearing on your television. They're criminals, out-of-control bandits across the city of Angels. They're chased by police and all captured on camera by a new breed of high-tech paparazzi. The news helicopter.
TV2, clearing at the also south. If they could drop an anchor at this time, could you ask them to do that?